Howdy folks, welcome to another episode of It Came From Marketplace. Today we're looking at delusional Suzuki owners. You see it all the time, people massively overselling their motorcycles. With Suzuki, people have taken it to a whole new level. Now I just want to say, it's not all Suzuki people, but it's always Suzuki people. Let me show you what I mean. Let's start off with something simple, something easy, kind of ease your way into what I'm about to show you today. We have a 2020 GSX-R going for $7,000 with 3,000 miles on the clock. Now, I just want to say, you don't see these come up for sale very often. This wasn't a huge sales success for Suzuki. This is kind of a last generation naked bike from the late 2010s. I believe it debuted in 2016. They ran it for a very long time. And it was kind of Suzuki's answer to something like the MT-09 and stuff like that. So it's using a detuned 750 motor, relatively sporty, but very much old school. This one, weirdly enough, is in very good condition. And I think it's the type of bike where if you're out for something like this, it could be a really quick pickup. So seller says, selling by 2020 GSX-R in excellent condition with only 3,000 original miles. This bike is powerful, smooth, and very well maintained, always adult ridden and garage kept. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that from a Suzuki GSX owner, right? Typically, these bikes are clapped to death. It's crazy to think somebody bought a brand new GSX-R and wasn't just a complete degenerate squid, but it's really nice, right? Clean sentences, easy to read. Seller says, clean title in hand, runs and rides perfectly, no mechanical issues, stock and unmodified, not even a slip-on exhaust on this bad boy. Never dropped or abused. Plenty of power, but still very manageable. Now, the original MSRP for this bike was $8,499, so a slight hit of depreciation on it, but it's held its value reasonably well. I think where we're going to see this is a bit of a problem is there's just way too much competition in this market for this sort of motorcycle. This is a last generation inline four style machine with very last generation features and tech, and it's just going to feel a little bare bones compared to the stuff you see on the market today. But this one is in remarkably clean condition. I mean, truly showroom spec stuff here. This thing is ultra clean, ultra simple, and I think the seller's done a very nice job pricing it, setting it up. But again, might have a little bit hard time getting rid of it. This bike, I was actually $500 off the original price he had of $7,500. This thing's probably going to settle in around $6,000 if I was going to guess, and that's not due to the fact that it's a bad bike or a bad condition. It's just that there's way more options out there now, especially around this price point in the used market. Photos are decent. We're missing a few of them. This is the bike in a parking lot for some reason. We don't have close-up shots, but really it does look just like a very clean, very new motorcycle. So pretty decent little starter here. It's not often you see GSX-R in good condition like this. Let's move on, and how about we start getting a little bit strange? You know, you can take the fairings away from a Hayabusa boy, but a Hayabusa boy will always find their way back. This is a 2008 Suzuki B-King going for $3,200 with 17,000 miles on the clock. Seller says, '08 Suzuki B-King, 17,000 miles, runs great, Street Fighter Hayabusa, very fast, lots of fun. So for those of you who don't know, the Suzuki B-King was actually a factory motorcycle offered by Suzuki, which is, as the seller says, a Street Fighter Hayabusa. So this has same frame and motor, swing arm, tail section. A lot of the same stuff from a Hayabusa is on this motorcycle. So it's a big stonking 1300cc motor, makes a ton of power, a ton of torque. And really, this bike would have done very well in the market had it not come out in 2008. This is a classic case of a motorcycle that was just simply way ahead of its time, right? This was a kind of hyper-naked motorcycle before we even really thought of what a hyper-naked motorcycle should be. Like, yeah, it's a bit fat, it's a bit heavy, but that is what it is. But I just love the fact that the Hayabusa guy energy has found its way back to the naked version of it. This has an absolutely horrendously tacky Joker paint job on it. The windshield is oh my God, it's like Joker windshield. You can't even see out of the front end of it. But I will point out to you, we do have tires that have fresh little nipples on the top of them here. We have the factory reflectors. This actually isn't the worst condition B-King I've ever seen. Next to some sort of auger for some reason. Outside, you got a little fire going here, an old school Toyota in the back. You know, maybe not the best home, right? This Suzuki B-King has certainly lived a tough life, I think, being at the hands of a merciless squid. But I know it's kind of hard to look past the Joker paint job. I certainly have a hard time doing it. But underneath here might be a halfway decent motorcycle. It's actually kind of clean. You look at the frame, the cases, it's really not all that bad. It's just this horrendously tacky paint job really just gets in the way of the enjoyment here. But, okay, I have to say, it's poor taste, but pretty good execution. The wrap itself looks professionally done. It looks like it's kind of like clean to the edges, relatively well executed, but again, really tacky and poor taste. I mean, I have to be completely honest, I don't understand what compels a grown man to put the Joker, a children's comic book anti-hero, I guess he's a villain, right, on your motorcycle. It just blows my mind. So $3,200 for the old Suzuki B-King with 17,000 miles. Fair deal, honestly. It's not the one, it's fair deal. It's a 1300cc hyper naked bike. It has some provenance. This one has had its resale value a little nuked by the Joker paint scheme here. But all things considered, it's not the worst thing in the world. I know I sound insane saying that, but given what I'm about to show you next, you may actually believe me. Now, I had to show this one. I was super excited about this bike. This is a 1987 Suzuki GSX-R going for $10,500 with 40,000 miles on the clock. And can we just take a moment? Stunningly beautiful motorcycle, is it not? Someone has very much taken care of this thing. I love the poster in the back that says, "Love is the feeling you get when you like something almost as much as you like your motorcycle." And I really do appreciate that. So this seller had a very long listing description, so I kind of boiled it down a little bit. Seller says, "I bought this 4 years ago and rode it to a few bike meets. It ran okay, but was cold-blooded and had some big flat spots in the little rev range, making it kind of sketchy. He parked it in the house, then got back in the garage for a few years." He says, "I finally just got this on the lift and just finished going through this bike extensively in December of 2025. Says countless hours cleaning and tuning carbs. No surprise there. Starts easily, idles and runs perfectly. Fresh oil change, iridium spark plugs. Any hardware that was not OEM or had a hint of corrosion was replaced. All critical bolts torqued to spec and chain adjusted and lubed. Clear blue Texas title in my name." That's pretty interesting. Extensive, normally really old bikes like this, sometimes it's hard to get a hold of the title. Seller then says extensive documentation from the prior 3 owners since purchase new in 1987, all filed in a binder by date, including original purchase receipts, manual, promotional brochures, maintenance, etc. This is like apex Suzuki Gixxer squid behavior. It's really rare to find a Gixxer 750 of this vintage, the old kind of slab body ones, the old school ones, the ones that people really want, that's not only this preserved, but also kind of like enjoyed and loved and preserved in a way that details that people actually used it for its intended purpose. It wasn't a collector's piece. It's got 40,000 miles on it, but I think it's even cooler when something has that kind of mileage, but is still this beautiful and nice. Let's take a look at the rest of this motorcycle. So supremely clean and well set up. And can I just say, very nice color combo with the rug down here, the white brick kind of wall. Very, very nice. I'm liking the vibe with the old school bike here. I kind of like want to live in this space. This to me is like my kind of aesthetic, certainly. Got the bike here up on the lift, doing some work to it. This looks like some carb tuning magic happening over here, or maybe a compression check. I can't really tell. There's some sort of 4 gauges, probably indicating, I think this is for fuel. I have no idea how to tune a carburetor, so this is not my bag. Got a bunch of other classic motorcycles in the stable over here. I believe this is a Honda RC51. I love the vibe in this shed is very, very old school. Very like, I don't know, something about it is kind of speaking to me. We go over here to this next one, and this is now turning into Yami Noob interior design hour, but I'm loving the little courtyard here with the xeriscaping, the terracotta tiles right here, the other rug. This guy, whoever this is, has quite a bit of taste. I do appreciate it. Very nice. And of course, park biked in the living room, you know that he means business. So looking through here, this is some of the documentation in the binder, and God, it's just so cool to see such a time capsule like this. To have all of this preserved in the binder. Honestly, I'm kind of like, maybe this guy should put this bike up for auction because he might be able to fetch more out of it. I know it's got some miles on it, but it is a really clean example of a Gixxer 750 from this era. Oh, look at the original printout here of the owner's manual and all the documentation. Man, that is really cool. Just like from a bygone era, you know? Doing some work on the motorcycle here, showing off its giblets inside of it. And honestly, boys, this is one of those that if you're in market for something like this, I say go for it. This is the pickup for a vintage motorcycle where it has all the service records. It's clearly been taken care of. Someone already kind of did the grunt work a little bit to kind of get the bike to run and ride well enough, you know, so that you can buy this and then kind of just enjoy the ownership experience rather than chasing problems all the time. And a bike that's had 40,000 miles has been cared for. You know, all those teething issues have kind of been sorted out over the decades. And yeah, it's crazy to see a motorcycle that's older than I am and in such great shape. I honestly think this GSX-R 750 looks better than I do, to be honest. It's aged better than I have. So this one is very cool. I do think the seller should probably put this one up for auction. He might get a little bit more money out of, because honestly, 10.5 is not that much for this thing. I know some of you might say, God, that's a lot of money for a damn near 40-year-old GSX-R, but, you know, I think it's worth it. I think it's really cool, and these just don't come up like this that often. So, primo listing, very nice. I'm super excited to share the recent winner of our latest sweepstakes. Braden in Houston actually won the Honda Hornet 750, and I was able to deliver it to him in person. Check it out.
Yeah, well, congratulations. I'm really excited for you on this bike. Delivered here in the Houston area. You said you're heading off to the Marines, though, right? So you may not keep the bike?
Yeah, maybe not. Probably not.
Okay, probably.
June or July, I'm going to leave, I believe.
Yeah, well, at least it'll be here in a good home. And, well, if you see it come up for sale, maybe you pick it up from Braden over here. But hopefully you get a chance to ride a little bit, have some fun, and big congrats to Braden over here.
So big congrats to Braden on winning the Hornet 750. If you want to win this Moto Guzzi, head over to yamanoob.co and become a member for your best chance to win. You'll get access to our Discord server and automatic entries to win this motorcycle. Click that link and don't miss it.
Now, let's move on to a not-so-primo listing. Perhaps a bike that is emblematic of GSX-R used ownership. This is a 2007 Suzuki GSX-R going for $2,500 with 7,433 miles on the clock. Something that I just want to point out here for some reason, everybody who puts up a mid-2000s GSX-R for sale, let us know if it's a 600, a 750, or a 1000. They all had the same damn body style. It's really hard to tell. I'm sure somebody in the comments right now is going to tell me, yeah, it's got this, it's got that. That's how you tell apart the 600s and the 1000. To me, all of these mid-2000s GSX-Rs basically look the same. So just put the CCs for us, please. Now, you guys are going to be regaled by some of the Spanish that I know. I am conversational in Spanish. So, seller says, solo bill of sale. He only has bill of sale. No tiene título. He does not have the title. Necesita bomba de gas y una batería. He needs a pump of gas and a battery. Llantas nuevas. He needs new lights. Slider way. Detalles de su año, solo personas interesadas, no me hagas perder mi tiempo si no vas a comprar. Don't waste this guy's time if you're not gonna buy. Even in Spanish, he's like, don't hit me up if you're not trying to buy this thing, boy. So, $2,500, clapped out GSX-R. This is the squid killer, man. This is what I always tell you guys. It may look tempting. You might want to do it. You'll say, yeah, why are you telling me to go spend $3,000 on some stupid beginner bike when I can get a GSX-R? I can go straight to the GSX-R and I can do it for $2,500. Buying a mid-2000s Japanese sport bike for $2,500 clapped out on Facebook Marketplace has become such a meme at this point. Do I need to tell you it's a bad idea? Do I need to tell you that this beat-up lime green GSX-R is not going to be a good time? The ownership experience is going to be horrendous. Probably gonna have tons of problems. I know people love to say, oh, dude, they're bulletproof. There's nothing's gonna go wrong. That is complete and utter BS. Let me just tell you that right now. Things go wrong on these things all the time. Like I had a GSX-R 600 track bike that I literally rode on track one time, and the rest of my ownership experience with it was it just sitting in my garage and me trying to fix it and then being like, I don't want to fix this thing, and I just dumped it. I'm telling you, these are the bikes you want to avoid. You do not want to buy some clapped out GSX-R. It does look like the tire has some track boogers on it too, so maybe at some point somebody tracked it. It's just kind of like, these bikes they're just like a rock tumbler of like ownership, and you never know what's going on with them, and they're always clapped out. It's just a terrible idea. Always has been, always will be. That's something that will always be true about motorcycling. Clapped out mid-2000s leader bikes and sport bikes, just don't do it. Not even once. Now, this one I thought was fantastic. This must be the type of motorcycle that I see in my comments all the time. Yeah, I only see clapped out SVs for $3,000. I finally found one. This is a 2003 Suzuki SC650. Now, you'll be forgiven for thinking the seller doesn't know what model is, but the C key and the V key are right next to each other on the keyboard, so maybe a fat finger. $3,000, going for 20,000 miles. My favorite part about this listing is the seller says condition used like new. Yeah, when I look at this SC650, that's the first thing I think of. I say, oh, it's like new. With its mismatched fairings and missing plastics and beat up aesthetic and stupid loud little exhaust or whatever. Oh, dude, it's like new. With the rusted out brake caliper right here. I mean, come on, dude. You're gonna tell me it's like new? Okay. Seller says running and driving 2003 SV650 with title in hand. Well, you're off to a good start. I'll give you that. Listed new parts on it, new coil and plugs, brake master cylinder, new rear sprocket and chain, new fairings, cracked a little, but it's like new. New bikes have cracked fairings. You guys know that. New shift linkage, new pegs, new levers, new windscreen. Price is negotiable to an extent, so come to me with serious offers. He's like a great king on his throne. Is to come bring your best offers to me. I will ascertain the value of this motorcycle, and you will bring your offers to me. No trades. I want to get it sold as soon as possible. Oh, the Speedo doesn't work, and it has about 20,000 miles. Fantastic. Just like a new bike. When I have a used like new motorcycle, the Speedo also doesn't work. Now, the worst part about this listing, too, is the seller barely has any photos of it. He has this photo of it far away, parked somewhere, and then a photo of it with a bunch of groms. You can tell the type of company this person keeps when two of his buddies have groms with underglow on them. So that really tells you what's going on here. This SV650, SC650, excuse me, just mogging up on these groms. It's a terrible thing. This bike is worth like $1,800 at best. Do not come with me with the $3,000 clapped out SV650s. And I tell you guys all the time, save up a little bit more money. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. Moving on. Now, here's one that I think is vastly superior to that SC650. 2004 Suzuki Marauder for $2,200, going 7,500 miles. 800cc metric cruiser, good running motorcycle, and in overall good shape. Clean title in hand, has 7,500 miles, new Shinko tires. Now, we don't like stinkos around here, but that's going to be okay. Cosmetic details here and there, but price to sell, $2,200 cash. And you know what? Metric Cruiser guys, say what you will, they do take care of their motorcycles. I actually think that Metric Cruisers are owned by people who really do care. And the value of these bikes is really just reflected in the fact that there's a stupid premium on Indian and Harley motorcycles, such that Japanese bikes and Metric Cruisers have never gotten their day in the sun. But truthfully, this really fulfills a broad majority of the aesthetic mission of a bike like that. And I understand it's not going to have quite the same charm and flavor and character of a Sportster or another Harley product. But I mean, $2,200 for a bike that looks totally serviceable. Like, this bike looks completely serviceable, ready to ride, like nothing wrong with it. And for an entry-level rider, this is a great choice. This is exactly the type of thing you want to go get. You know, pick this thing up, ride it for like a year, just get your sea legs under you, and then get something else. And then you're really not out that much money. This thing already comes with some saddlebags with it as well. You got a little leather. I don't know if he's going to keep those. It looks relatively clean and straightforward. And those Shinkos do be stinkoing, huh? So yeah, I think the value of a Metric Cruiser has been determined to be about $2,000, I think, once it's fully depreciated. And they're just like, I don't mean to say a dime a dozen, but the Japanese manufacturers did make a ton of these motorcycles because they did want to break Harley's grasp on the American market. They never quite pulled it off, but their demise can be your gain because these motorcycles are probably built a lot better than a lot of Harleys. They're reliable. I mean, Suzukis are well known for being very bulletproof. And so, I mean, the Marauder might be a good pick here, dude, honestly. Might be a good pick. Think about it. All right, saved this one for the back half of the video because it's a little scary. 2000 Suzuki 750 going for $1 million with 290,000 miles on the clock. The only description we have here is 2000 Suzuki 750 runs and drives. Let me know for info. Now, the only thing that I can understand that perhaps this seller did to somehow reach these figures is maybe he fat-fingered the numbers and just slept on his keyboard or something, because I do see the mileage here says 29,507. So maybe he just added an extra zero, because then 29,000 would be there. But then that would imply that he believes that this is worth $100,000, not $1 million. And, you know, I understand. Some people think that early 2000s bikes like this Suzuki 750 just have incredible provenance. And they're the type of motorcycle that many, many people would fork over a six-figure amount for. It's that one day these will be great collectibles. You can't even imagine how beautifully collectible this motorcycle will be. But I'll tell you what, I don't think I'm going to buy it. I don't think I'm going to buy the story that it's some amazing collectible. It's shoved in a shed somewhere that seems to have a lot of woodworking, dust and particulate matter, a washer or dryer over here, a bucket. Clearly not very well cared for. Got an air filter, a big gulp cup, another washer dryer. It's a little strange and confusing down here, I think. It's a little scary where this motorcycle's parked up on. And here's the thing, you're talking about a 26-year-old motorcycle at this point, going for $100,000 if we're being charitable. I don't think he meant to put $1 million. Maybe he did say 100,000. I do think that maybe there's a better way to spend your money. Maybe the 100,000 is actually, you get the Gixxer, but then also the deed to the property the Gixxer's on top of, you know, it's maybe like a small parcel of land, a shed somewhere, that sort of thing. And maybe that can be worth your while. And then you just kind of take this Gixxer and throw it off into the river. And then, you know, you got a decent little pickup there. Moving on. All right, boys, last but not least, again, this is one I've warned you guys about. Do not get sucked in by the clarion call of the mid-2000s $2,500 Gixxer sport bike. Don't do it. 600, 750,000s, do not do it. Resist this call. We have one here with 30,000 miles, 2,500 OBO, tags up to date, ready to go. He's got a 520 conversion with the -1 +2. This might kill a beginner rider if you jump on this thing. Analog controls, geared to be way more aggressive. A -1 +2 basically gives you like a +5 total at the rear. So much more aggressive initial pickup of the throttle. Very, very pokey. Someone probably was playing around with wheelies and doing that sort of thing with this motorcycle. It is in not particularly great condition. The gas tank is kind of beat up. We have frame sliders here. Kind of a beat up and tired Yoshi exhaust. For some reason, this seller included the same photo, but just zoomed in, which I thought was kind of funny. And another case of, I've told you guys, I don't know why mid-2000s Gixxer people, they're just like, I'm not going to tell you if it's a 600 or 1,000. You know what you're getting, right? But again, do not be succumbed by the price on this thing. Don't tell yourself, oh, it's $2,500. Yeah, I can go get this thing. I can start riding. I don't have to buy your piddly little beginner bike. I can start on a big man Gixxer with a -1 +2 in the rear. This bike will kill a beginner rider. I swear to God, dude, if you jump on this thing with this setup, oh my God, like you're going to tell yourself, I'm going to be safe, I'm going to be good, this is a terrible, terrible idea. Now, let's look at this from the broad strokes. $2,500 is actually halfway decent for a Gixxer in this kind of condition. If you were trying to build a track bike or you just needed a parts bike or something, you know, $2,500 to get a somewhat running and riding motorcycle. A guy says it's ready to ride, but he may be obfuscating some issues with the motorcycle. That is something that can happen. And yeah, I think the only reason to pick this up would be you have a project bike, you have a track bike. Otherwise, it would make a pretty piss-poor street bike, if you ask me. All right, boys, all that being said, thank you so much for checking out today's video. I truly do appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the bikes I sourced today, and let me know what other motorcycle manufacturers or categories you'd like for me to do with the Facebook videos. I really love doing these. I have a ton of fun. I appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.